Dude, I got this great deal on this work MacBook Pro. Tell you about that?
Work
No,
MacBook
you?
Pro? I thought they'd give it
Huh?
to you.
No, I got a work MacBook Pro, but it's a fucking piece of shit because this is on there. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Oh, shoot.
Oops.
You're cooked.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 14 of 2025. I'm Chris Louie, and getting ready for my vacation to Universal Studios. With me, I have my co-host Duke Silver, who is getting heat for making fun of Victor too much.
Uh-oh.
Right?
Who's casting the aspersions there, Chris? Do we want to talk about that?
Are you turning on the pod during your drive with the wife and the family in the car? Is that what you guys are listening to?
No, she's actually listening to it herself in the car. Now she has to go back
That's
in the
pretty
office.
amazing.
Yeah.
Is that what she's one step closer to being with you all the time when she listens to our pod?
Yeah. Well, we got to have her on at some point. Then,
Yeah, there you go.
We totally do.
then
I
Brian
like. By
can
the way, I
address
do it.
those
That's
concerns.
my love for Victor. I think he's a good boy.
We wouldn't be making fun of him if we didn't like him. Does that sound
Exactly.
That's what I tell her.
Yeah.
So it's that whole
Yeah.
we scare because we care thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk crap to you guys too.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I think Kyle, I think Wier, Weir. He was like that. He was trying to get my attention, so him and his rep were trying to get my attention, and I missed an email, so he sent me a Slack message saying, "What's up, little guy?" And then he's like, "We're curious if you can help out." And then I wrote back right away. He's like, "See, I told the rep like you have to." Brian's love language is talking crap. So I'm like, even Kyle gets it. Thank you, Kyle, for getting me, man.
Yeah.
That's totally it.
Exactly. And we have Glenn Medina, who finally recovered after that 8 delicious inches of meat. Didn't you say you
That
have
was
gout?
rough.
How is Jimmy John's helping your gout?
That's red meat. That's red meat.
Not highly processed nitrates.
No. No.
The Jimmy John's
No.
deli meat.
No, not at all. You know what I think I'm finding out though at this age is like I'm like Alan. I may be lactose intolerant. So
A lot of Asian people do get lactose intolerant later in life. I don't know what
Yeah.
causes that, but it is more common than you expect.
yeah, you know how
Such-
Brian gets destroyed with bread. I get destroyed with cheese. So
Cheese and ice cream.
yeah.
I use you as a rocket pack, send me to the moon. I know how that works.
All right, now that we got Glenn's bowels talk out of the way, no guest
Yeah.
this week due to the odd recording time for spring break. We should resume having guests next week. Combined, we have decades of information security experience, and here not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Your voice
Wait,
is
Victor-
super sexy and smooth today, Chris. I
Yeah.
love it.
Thank you.
VDL doesn't have kids, so what is the, and not only that, he's in Canada. So is there such thing as spring break in Canada without kids?
No,
So he's got no excuse.
pretty much. Well, your kids are grown and one's still in higher ed, but so I guess you
Yeah.
have one spring break to deal with.
Yeah.
This week, we're going to talk about our ransomware story of the week. Friend of the show and security expert Troy Hunt gets phished. For our third topic, Oracle gets hacked, and close with the bad choice talk. For our first topic, and this will be our ransomware story of the week, computer outages at Malaysia's Kuala Lumpur International Airport last week were attributed to a recent cyber attack. The company that runs the airport reports that attackers contacted them with a $10 million ransom demand to restore their systems.
Why did you say it like that? $10 million.
$10 million.
$10 million.
Coming at you live. We got $12 million.
$10 million.
That's a new voice there, Yosemite Sam. What's going
It
on?
was like an auctioneer.
I wish I could actually do that. Have you ever all right, once again, we're ruining the podcast by talking about personal stuff. Have you guys ever been to like an auction before?
Not like that, no.
Bro, in Arizona, they would have like the car auctions. There was like A through maybe even Z. Like they have these different lanes, and the higher the lane, the newer the car would be. So like A lane would be like brand, like rental rockets, right? Cars that only have like 10,000 miles that are on there, and it was just insane. Like this car is coming through hundreds of cars throughout the day, and every lane had an auctioneer, like just nonsense. And then I just remember like bidding on cars once. I'm like, did I win? I don't even know. Like, did I pay too much? Yeah. So
you would know because they come tap you on the back and say, "Come pay, sir."
Yeah. And so so I ended up. I think the first car I bought, I had found like a 1999 Ford Escort. It was so the first thing you do is you go out and you walk the lot, right? And go look at the cars,
see
and
what's
stuff.
available.
And I come out, this car, it's square, man. Like it's like, looking good. Get in there, you start the car. You check real quick to see if the AC is working. Get underneath it, check, no water in the oil. I was like, all right, I think I should buy this one. So I'm telling my dad, like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And so we go to buy it. He's like, all right, you're the one that's buying it. You should do it. So I do it, buy the car. It's like, I don't know, like $3,200, something like that. And we get it it gets delivered to the dealership. He's like, Brian, the car has no reverse. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, that's the other thing you do. You get in the vehicle, you put it in drive, move up 2 inches, you put it in reverse. Yeah. Nope. Missed that one big time.
That
yeah.
one. All right. Lesson learned.
You want to hear something funny?
Lesson.
Yeah,
my brother had a Ford Escort, and she had transmission problems that I've had. And I think I'd like to say it was like 50,000 miles just when the warranty went out, or maybe it was 24,000 miles. It was hilarious.
And the transmission just explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, you were talking about
$10 million
Kuala
ransom.
Lumpur. Yeah.
The Prime Minister of Malaysia said he didn't even wait 5 seconds before telling the attackers no, he would not be paying the ransom demand. The airport was thrown into chaos, and pictures emerged online of workers using dry erase boards to show up-to-date flight information. The country took a few days to recover from backup, but operations are expected to continue as normal. So, good on Malaysia for saying no to these attackers.
Yeah, but little did you know, it was only like 6 months ago they had put computers in, right? So
they're still used to the dry erase boards.
Yeah.
Bro, that Malaysian airline flight that went missing?
Yeah.
You guys remember that? It was on the 737 MAX. Like that, they were like doing. There's a documentary that talks about that and how they. I think maybe I'm wrong, but maybe it was like the MCAS system that was like leveling out the plane, and the plane thought it was in a nosedive, and so it was trying to. No, it was going up too high, so it ended up putting the plane in a nosedive. And the Malaysian airline folks were like, before they got the planes, were like, hey, new plane, don't you think we need some training on this? And they're like, no, everything's the same. Yeah. Right? He's like, no, I don't know. And then behind the scenes, they're laughing at them like, these idiots want training. Who needs that? But meanwhile, all these people died, unfortunately.
Well, and then planes started dropping out of the air in the U.S., right? They were trying to say it was pilot error over there.
Mm-hmm.
There was two. Yeah. There was one in Africa.
Africa? Yeah.
I can't remember where the other one was. I watched that same documentary. It wasn't the missing Malaysia area. It was a different flight, I thought.
But it was still Malaysian Airlines,
Indonesia,
right?
I think. I think one crashed in Indonesia, and I think one crashed in Africa.
For everyone listening, that wasn't a stereotype. This God's honest thing. Like, I know those are two distinct groups of individual people and cultures, and I would never want to do that. So, but yeah, I'm with you though, man. The Prime Minister just stepped up. Is it a Prime Minister? What is it?
Yeah, Prime Minister of Malaysia.
Yeah. He stepped up, so we're not paying the fines for the ransomware. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
We need more people to do that.
That's the way it should be. Stop taking, take away that profit motive, and they'll have to either evolve or move on.
Encouraging.
Well, there was no money out of his pocket, right? I mean, maybe there was money out of his pocket. I mean, most people do it because they see that it'd be a loss of income for them in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I think it was Caesars, because Caesars and MGM got hit within a few months of each other. Caesars paid, and we never heard about it until much later. Then MGM got hit, and they took hundreds of millions of dollars in losses due to it.
Yeah.
But they did the right thing.
But they still didn't pay. They didn't pay, right? They still
Caesars paid, MGM did not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people at Caesars still have a job.
Unfortunately, crime does pay, I guess.
Yeah. Then again, they are printing money over there. I think, you know what? I'm afraid the fan's getting too much noise. You're going to have to edit out. I'll be right back.
All right. There you go. Brian being considerate to my post-editing. work.
Love the flag there, Brian. That's awesome.
Saturdays are for the boys. I'm glad that
go.
you like it.
It's true. Well, how much do you want to bet they got in through an SSL VPN vulnerability here when we get the final report? How they got in?
No way.
I think the
Credential
over-under is
stuffing.
we'll never know.
Single factor authentication or phishing.
I bet you it was phishing.
Phishing, some kind of phishing.
Who's taking the over under? Can we put this on Kalshi? And make bets on this.
Well, Brian would need
sure you
to
could.
deposit money into his account first for him to bet on this.
Who is it? You went out first, though, right? Right, Chris, on Kalshi?
I think so.
Like you were betting big.
Yeah, I bet big, but I made it pretty far. I think I made it more than half the month before I just kept going all in, and then eventually caught up with me.
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn's at home. Go get your salt.
Ah,
You owe us like
salts.
4 hits.
All right. Hey,
Hey. Hey.
still in the package.
Of course. All right, well,
Here we go.
Well,
Now
Glenn
we
is-
have to listen to him rustle it open like a trash panda.
and don't forget when you pop that foil, it's gonna blow at you. So
Oh, God.
face it away from you.
It's going to explode on your face.
Oh, my gosh. So put it away.
Yeah, point it away at you when you pop the foil.
So you don't want to
Just
get
a
it
small hole, or do I just do rip the whole foil off?
You want to rip it off, but you can.
Oh,
still-
my God. Oh, my God. Oh, that's already
Dude,
there.
Glenn went from like being a genuinely nice-looking person to an evil supervillain.
in
You
a
got hit
split
with that.
second.
You know what's so funny is I still have the one that you bought us like 2-3 years ago. It's in the
No
garage
way.
someplace.
Yeah, I still have mine, but
Mine dried out.
When I went to open it, it was like one solid
dried out.
chunk, and it wasn't potent anymore. Like I did try it.
Okay.
Oh, your camera's lost, buddy.
Yeah,
Can you
Come on,
dust
buddy.
your house?
Let's go. Come on.
he has like a knife
Over here.
next to his mouse too, in the open position. There it is.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, I found it.
There you go.
For those confused listeners, Glenn bought this 360 cam that just follows him all over his office, and it followed him into the ground when he went to go reach for something.
Yeah. And then it didn't recover. It fell and it couldn't get up. So, all right. What are we doing?
We,
doing this?
you.
Oh, God.
Who's we? Are you pregnant? That's not happening, buddy.
You use this to go work out before you go work out? This is crazy.
I use it now. Like Chris got me some new ones. Every morning I hit it. Yeah.
Before you go work out?
Yeah. Before I go to the gym.
That's potent.
Oh,
Wakes
man.
me right up.
Is this what others do on workouts? Do you see this being used regularly?
No.
Maybe
but I
behind
think
the
it's a good way
scenes.
to.
Yeah. I don't think you want to do it in public. Maybe in the locker room. You gotta open that hole bigger, Glenn. You can't just.
No, I don't want to open it bigger. It's crazy. Just that
Don't be
small
scared.
little bit. Oh, that's oh. All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Glenn's ready for topic
But look
2.
but don't you feel better after you do it though? Like you.
No,
like
I
you look
feel
awake.
I don't. My nose is burning right now. But yeah, whatever.
What's nice is when you hit, when it's like the perfect whiff just goes in, and you feel like your nasal cavity has been just open. You can feel
Clear.
it all the way into your chest.
Like
yeah.
someone put Drano in and cleared out your.
My nose is
Respiratory
open right now, though,
system.
yeah, I was a little congested, but not so much now.
Not so much now.
Yeah.
All right, well, Glenn's ready for topic 2. For our second topic, we have a story that shows that even the most experienced and seasoned security experts can still fall victim to a carefully crafted phishing campaign if you add a little jet lag in there.
Or you post it on LinkedIn as the cloud god.
Troy Hunt, who runs the Have I Been Pwned website, got his MailChimp credentials stolen through a somewhat sophisticated phishing attack. The attackers registered the MailChimp -sso.com domain, where it hosted a phishing page to steal the login, password, and multi-factor authentication code. The lure was sent from a legitimate domain, but from a compromised account of a Belgian janitorial company. However, when viewing the email on Outlook for iOS, it only showed the display name and not the real email address. So that's a huge problem on mobile, is that you don't get to see the address, because he showed the screenshot of what it looks like on desktop. And if you saw it on the desktop, it's obvious it's fake, but from a mobile device, it looked pretty real. Troy said he was traveling and severely jet lagged, so his alarms were not as sharp as he normally would be, and even commented that he's received dozens of these phishing emails in the past and successfully detected them. So that's why it's extremely important to have a filter for newly registered and newly observed domains, because this was a newly registered domain. It was a phishing page, and that would have caught it.
Come on, Apple, get your act together.
I don't know, it's Apple's
I'm a little bit more impressed that
Outlook for
Troy,
iOS.
Yeah. Is anyone else
Outlook
surprised
for
that Troy Hunt is running his own email campaigns? Like, you would think, I thought he was like a little bit bigger than that. Like, he probably has like a team of people, no?
He's still doing it. I think he said he has 16,000 newsletter subscribers. So he still does all that on his own.
Wow.
So he actually works for Microsoft, and this Have I Been Pwned is like a side project for him.
Oh, that explains it. Microsoft. That's where people go to die, everyone. So tell me I'm wrong. Or you're either really new in your career.
You mean products? You mean products or actual careers?
Products and careers. It's the twofer, baby.
Let's not be mean. Come on.
No, like reality. Like it's kind of like Cisco. Like if you or Microsoft, if you're recruited in early, they create an army of like incredible sales reps. But if you go in there post 40, you're just going to retire. You're just there to like collect a paycheck and not do anything, right? You're just farming. And somebody by farming, rest invest. But it's the farming is not even really farming. It's just like you get fresh to made ordered veggies delivered to your door. And like, yeah, I came from my backyard. I didn't really do anything, but I'm going to take the money and run. Like, have you ever met someone that goes there? Like you just fade into obscurity. Or am I being mean?
I don't know. I know some people that just went over there, so I'll have to check in on them in a year or two.
Yeah.
How old are they, Chris?
Like my age. Maybe a little older. Slightly older.
Like 99? Okay.
Yeah, 99.
This is kind of wild because Troy Hunt works for Microsoft. I think I actually knew that.
Yeah, and he's what I would consider a security expert. And what happened was they got his username, his password, his multi-factor authentication code, and in like basically near real time. I think it happened within a minute. The attackers got his login information. They ran a script, went on to MailChimp, created an API key. That API key did a data dump of his entire database, and like within 2 minutes, like it was gone. Like the horse is out of the barn already. And
do you think he updated his email address and have I been pwned to yes, I have?
he did say in the blog post. He says, yeah, he's going to put these 16,000 email addresses, newsletters in a data breach. Because it was a data breach.
Oh, so those were people that are registered on his site that he lost.
Yeah,
right.
That are subscribed to his newsletter. Yeah, and the unfortunate thing was MailChimp, when you do a mass export, it does all the actively subscribed and even the people that unsubscribe. So even the people that unsubscribe, he's not technically supposed to contact them because he unsubscribed, but he's like, well, I have to tell him it's like a data breach notice. So he's kind of in a dilemma there.
Pain.
Oh, how crazy is that?
And MailChimp should, if someone unsubscribes, in theory, you should delete them or mark them inactive and not export them. But for some reason, MailChimp keeps all that data.
Well, I think that's up to the administrator to delete, right? Technically, they could delete it if they go into that bin pile.
Yeah, or you can tombstone it and say, put it in quarantine for 60 days, and after 90 days, delete them, something like that.
So I don't understand how they got the multi-factor code.
He entered it in. So because it looked like a legitimate phishing page, or it looked like a real login page. So the login password, it says next, type in your multi-factor authentication code. And he in the blog post, he says normally 1Password autofills it, but for some reason, it didn't autofill, which usually should be a red flag as well, because like if I go to say ebay.com and I use my password manager, it should automatically populate ebay.com. But if it's ebay-scamsite.com, then my password manager won't populate. But he actually says it's actually not that uncommon that one password will miss something because the website used to log in might be different than the actual website. Like, for example, Okta. Like, I log in at company.okta.com, but I might be sending my multi-factor authentication code to oktacdn.com or something like that, so it won't match exactly.
If he had that, like, FIDO, using like a YubiKey, that wouldn't happen, right? I mean, because technically on the other side, they have to have the YubiKey plugged in to get access.
Exactly, yeah. So that was one of the huge criticisms that Troy had for MailChimp. MailChimp supports SMS, and it supports Authenticator app. And that's it. So there's no passkeys, there's no YubiKey, there's no FIDO. So that's a miss on the MailChimp side, because I'm sure if they supported YubiKey or passkeys, your Troy would have used it, and this wouldn't have happened. Those are all phishing resistant MFA. But the fact that they only support app or SMS means they're back in the Stone Age.
Yeah, I definitely try to use YubiKey wherever I can. So I don't know about you guys.
For the websites that support it, yes, but there are very
poor OPSEC,
few
I'm not telling you.
websites that support it.
You already told us what password manager you use, so come on, man.
Passkeys,
Apple Password Manager.
Yeah, Passkeys is supposed to fix that as well. So Passkeys phishing resistant too.
Are they really? Like passkeys on your phone are phishing resistant?
Yeah, because it requires a biometric.
Yeah, but
same with the UVP.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, like they're immune to man-in-the-middle type attacks. Like,
so if you use passkeys to like log into email, right? They hit it on a computer. It signals your phone with the passkey. If you put your phone in front of your face, then it would allow it. Then, right? No.
Yeah, it would allow it, but it's not prone to interception. They can't replay it. Like for a multi-factor authentication, they can steal it and then replay it. Yeah, and that's how they. That's how they got in.
I gotcha.
So it's one of those things. Got to be extra careful and have a good filter that says if this is a phishing site or a newly registered domain, because that probably would have stopped it as well. I looked at the website, Cloudflare, took it offline within 2 hours, and it's already classified as phishing on all the major security platforms.
You think once he did the multi-factor, he went, uh-oh.
I think he had a kind of a sinking suspicion, and what gave it away was he got an automated email from MailChimp that says your export is complete. And he's like, uh-oh, I didn't export anything. But it literally was. It was within minutes. Like, I think it took no more than 2 minutes from the time he logged in to the export. Glenn just
took another hit.
The smelling salts.
Of the smelling salt, yeah. Let's make sure everyone knows. So on phishing or clickbait, what did you guys think? I did share with you guys the stats of the posts about
your
Google
LinkedIn
and Viz.
Yeah,
and then I did a little link that said that Google's now Woogle, and 25,000 people had engaged with the post on LinkedIn, but astonishingly 1,800 people actually clicked the link and went to the quote unquote news story. I thought that was kind of like, again, it's only 4% of people, but I was surprised on how something obviously fake, but just that morbid curiosity. People are like, what? They actually clicked the link. Were you guys surprised at that? Or were you just like, oh yeah, whatever? Like, you seem credible, Brian. Of course people would do that.
I think 4% is a good, if I were running a phishing campaign, I would say a 4% conversion rate would be a good conversion rate.
Do you think LinkedIn is a place though that people kind of trust, knowing you're posting it and you're posting that link, so therefore it's somewhat trustworthy? Like, I don't friend anyone, right? So my network is probably a lot smaller than both of yours, and I don't post a lot, but Clearly. I would trust something that you guys post compared to like someone that I just met, right? So I think I'm looking in there like, did they click it because they technically trust things that are inside of LinkedIn? Like, I would never trust anything in Facebook, right? Or any of the other services.
But is this a great attack vector then? Like, if you can compromise someone's account on LinkedIn and then start posting as them, right?
Heck yeah.
I think it's reputation based. So I think there you get a little boost in reputation for being on LinkedIn. LinkedIn tends to be a little bit more trustworthy, and then you have the cloud god posting. He tends to post things that are high fidelity, so that you trust him more, not some just rando recruiter off of LinkedIn that added you unsolicited.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. He's high. Yeah, he's not high fidelity.
No, am I gonna get in trouble?
He's posting Woogle.
Woogle, baby. What's funny though is like people come by, they're like, one person's like, if I show up on that list, no, I didn't. And then somebody else is like, I was wondering if you were smoking something that morning. And then another dude is like, I remember scrolling past it thinking, is this April Fool's already? I'm like, whatever. Everyone's so high and mighty now. But
so that security awareness training is finally kicking in.
Yeah. But I would hope the people that did scroll by and didn't interact with it, I'm happy that they didn't, right? These are people that I would think they're again, high fidelity people that wouldn't be like, that's trash. No way.
Yeah. What would have been bad is if someone had taken over that news site, right, and did something really nefarious with your link from another link, right?
Yeah.
So
I did like the video that I posted. I couldn't get it to autoplay though, no matter how hard I tried. It must have been like a WordPress limitation. And I tried really hard. I think I spent about 7 minutes on it. I was like, I'm tired. I want to bed.
Yeah, it's ChatGPT.
No.
Try it now. See if it'll tell you.
I don't want to. You'll complain about the clicking.
I will.
I'll set it.
I will complain about the clicking. For third topic, Oracle Cloud has apparently suffered a data breach, and Oracle is denying it. I guess not surprising very many people. A threat actor reported that they stole 6 million records from over 140,000 Oracle Cloud tenants through an exploit in Oracle's front-end authentication system. Guess I don't know what's more surprising, that Oracle got hacked or that Oracle has 140,000 tenants of Oracle Cloud or customers. Oracle has denied it and says no customer data has been exposed. However, the threat actor posted a sample of the data online, which includes LDAP records, encrypted SSO credentials, OAuth tokens, and tenant information. The website Bleeping Computer contacted organizations whose data appeared in the sample of the data breach, and they have all confirmed that it is authentic. The threat actor is offering to delete a specific customer's data from the data dump in exchange for a fee before they sell off this data dump. The threat actor even uploaded a TXT text file onto a server owned by Oracle to prove that they had access to Oracle's internal production systems. So what is Oracle really trying to hide here? When asked how they breached the servers, the threat actor said that all the Oracle Cloud servers use a vulnerable version with a public CVE that does not currently have a public proof of concept or a public exploit for. So this is something custom that they made.
Yeah, I'm with you. 140,000 tenants. That must be like all micro tenants. Is SAP Oracle? It is, right?
No, they compete. They're both ERP systems, so they compete with
what
each
ERP
other.
does Oracle have? I forget.
Oracle ERP, NetSuite.
NetSuite. Okay.
It used to be PeopleSoft back in the day.
Yeah.
I would have argued that it was NetSuite back in the day. Now it's PeopleSoft.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're probably right about that.
So
I think, I was going to say, they've obviously proved that they've pwned them. So like now it's
I don't know why Oracle's denying it. Like it's kind of like that Iraqi minister of information. He's like, the U.S. troops are definitely nowhere near Baghdad, and then a day later they just roll into Baghdad,
rolling through.
I don't.
So it's interesting that they were able to craft a CVE that was like, or I'm sorry, how to create an exploit for a CVE that was out there. You must wonder, this must be like remote code execution or something like that.
It's got to be something like that. So it's got to be something. I'm guessing it's like with Apache Stretch, so it's gonna be something stupid like a deserialization bug or something.
Worse yet, it's VNC. The password is admin.
You never know.
Admin 123.
Yeah.
Right, so.
I mean, that's the bigger issue. Like when companies get owned, like you see this, you see like a really wide range of response. Like Cyberhaven, when their extension got popped, they're like, yeah, sorry, we messed up and we fell for it, but we're gonna make it right. Like a lot of people can appreciate the transparency, but then you get these other companies go really, really hardcore, like Oracle, like, no, it's impossible. That could never happen. That definitely did not happen, even though this data that's been exposed out there has been confirmed authentic by the affected people.
Is that a Larry Ellison move, though?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. The other thing I was thinking of, maybe why they're denying it is because we're in I would say a sensitive period right now, because Oracle is on track to take over TikTok. And if it's been confirmed that Oracle's not safe, then TikTok might not do the deal with them. And you only have, 75 days since the inauguration.
TikTok has drawn the line in the sand about being safe. That's hilarious.
User privacy. They're concerned about the user's privacy, Brian.
So we talk about ownership, right? So, technically, if the customer's data's got breached, could they go back? I mean, this is an Oracle thing, right? It's not like the customer did anything wrong in this event.
Yeah. That's the whole share responsibility model. The customers trusted Oracle to keep their data secure and keep their credentials secure. It's what got leaked is their authentication credentials. LDAP, which is decades old, which is pretty easy to crack. Encrypted SSO passwords, I think they are crackable, but more difficult. And the threat actor has offered a bounty for anyone that helps decrypt the data so that they can ransom it for more money.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. I have a question though.
No, it'd just be funny, like if you got access to all the passwords that were dumped out, and you found like admin a whole bunch of times, right, or something really crazy, stupid, easy.
Yeah.
So, I'd be interested to go see that.
I'm not going to say I know everything about the cloud, but I will say this: LDAP in the cloud. That sounds like not LDAP S, but even that, what tool out there is in the cloud that isn't like federated identity? Like, how the hell is LDAP still a thing?
Oh, have you met Oracle before? Have you ever had to deal with Oracle before?
But still, like, if you're moving it to the cloud, you would think that they would have done away with that. That seems crazy.
There's a lot of legacy out there. That's why we support SMB v1 for the longest time. There's just a lot of legacy and backwards compatibility.
That's why Google bought Wiz, right?
Yeah, that's
try to figure out how the other guys do it.
That's the whole problem. Like, what that DOGE is running into right now. They said like a lot of the stuff they're dealing with it's written in COBOL. Like they need engineers that know COBOL because our U.S. federal government still runs on COBOL.
If you're a laugh, my wife's cousin wrote COBOL when he was in the military and wrote COBOL when he got out of the military for the government.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
no, I'm sure
for a specific amount of money, I will learn COBOL and go work for the federal government.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you can't get hired right now anyway, so.
Yeah, and all the Doge guys work for free too.
Yeah.
So there's no money to be made, but
you'd
be serving your country.
Vivek supposed to be doing a lot of stuff with it? Like, he seems like he's on mute, or is he? I'm just missing it.
He is running for the governorship of Ohio, so he's otherwise distracted. But yeah, Vivek Ramaswamy was supposed to co-chair Doge with Elon.
Okay, I thought so. So it's just Elon's running the show.
Yeah. Yeah, man, but even some of the customers I talked to, they still ask, do you have LDAP support? Like, no. What year is this?
No kidding.
LDAP front-ended by SAML? Sure. But LDAP pure, yeah, you got to update.
We want to do forms-based authentication, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Can
funny.
you do hosted passwords? Jesus, get the hell out of my cloud.
Yeah. Especially for a solution that's supposed to be, cloud first, cloud ready, native cloud, yet still supports LDAP. But there's stuff out there that they still need to support it for backwards compatibility.
That's still kind of an incredible number. 140,000 tenants. Like, let's say you had a production and a dev. That means you have 70, at a minimum, at least 70,000 customers.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I mean, there could be customers, it could be subsidiaries. They each get their own tenant. We've seen that.
True.
For sure. But it is a lot. That was more than I was expecting. Because I don't know in terms of market share where OCI sits. It's definitely, I don't think they're in the top 5. I think it's the big 3 and then Rackspace.
I think there's only 5. How are they not in the top 5?
DigitalOcean, those hosting providers. Look it up.
Yeah, what are they? Yeah.
I'll ask Grok when we're not recording, so I'll have to hear my keyboard.
Do it on your phone. Don't be scared.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, well, the threat actor did contact Oracle, and Oracle's like not interested by. And then they're like, all right, well, now I'm gonna leak this data.
Specifically, they said by Felicia.
I know. It's like
You show them.
we have two sources. So we have the Prime Minister of Malaysia that tells the attackers to go pound sand, and we're applauding them, and then Oracle does the same thing. We're like, oh, Oracle seems like the bad guy here, just because they're obviously trying to cover something up. They're not being transparent and forthcoming. All right, for our last topic, and it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about what choices you see people making with their lives that you would never make. I thought this was an interesting one because I think we've said some of these things here and there on the show before. Like I distinctly remember Brian saying when he sees somebody smoking, he's like, "What are you thinking? Like, why are you still doing this?" But we still
A young person smoking.
Yeah, we still see tons of young people still smoking. But I thought this was an interesting topic, so I think I put a couple on here first. I'll go first. Posting everything about their life on social media. That is one I don't quite understand. Like the whole smoking thing, I'm like, I try to see both sides of it. So maybe someone got them into it when they were young, and they're it's part of the Joe Cool movement or whatever. But posting everything about your life on social media, it's odd to me. Like I talk to other parents at when I pick up my kids from school, and they tell me, oh, my kid did this weekend. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I'll come home, I'll tell my wife, oh, by the way, so-and-so is going to do this weekend. She's like, oh yeah, I know. They posted about it online. I'm like, okay, well, apparently I still do things the old fashioned way. And I find out what people are doing by walking up to them and asking them what they're up to. But posting everything about your life on social media is just not something I would ever do. Just from a privacy standpoint, and it's like, what are you trying to get out of it? Like, what do you gain from that?
I take that even a step further, is like posting personal things on LinkedIn, like just things that irk me. Like, why are you doing that? That's not the platform to do that. Come on, guys, let's get serious here.
I know,
but
I know Glenn's not on Reddit, but I think Brian's on Reddit. There's a subreddit called LinkedIn Lunatics that. It's exactly what you're talking about. Like, I got married today, or I got engaged today. This is what it taught me about B2B sales.
Get out of here.
I think you have that backwards. I'm not on Reddit, but he is.
I am. I'm on Reddit.
Okay.
I just like to read. I'm not there to post.
Yeah, between the two of you, I would have guessed Brian would be the Reddit guy.
Is that what it's called?
What's that?
Lurker. Yeah.
You're a lurker?
I'm a lurker. I don't want to post anything about myself that somebody can scrape. Right. So
I got off of it when I think they banned a certain subreddit. I was like, this seems like censorship. I'm not about that. And then just immediately go,
yeah. It's the censorship on there is still pretty bad, so you're not missing much, Brian.
Yeah.
I will say the LinkedIn Lunatics one is pretty funny though.
Yeah.
You'll have to share because I'll definitely.
I usually send the best stuff to the
right
group chat.
Yeah. Okay.
The other ones the other one that I can't understand is the live streamers. Like, you go to a restaurant and some guys or a girl sitting there just chewing their food at the table by themselves. I'm like, didn't have a date? What's going on? Like, okay, but that's on you. Like I said, as long as I'm not in your frame, I don't care.
That streaming app, it's called Kick. So there's these kicks, and this has to be like a young person thing. So there's Jack Doherty, I think is one of them, and I mean they're major douchebags. He got
kicked off though.
Yeah, I think he got kicked off. Johnny Somali got in a whole bunch of trouble in South Korea. I think he's going on trial in South Korea for harassing people.
Yeah,
and like that's their whole model is rage bait. It's get people upset at you doing stupid pranks, like not even like funny pranks, like just mean spirited, like stupid pranks that would get you beat up, like rightfully so. And then they walk around with bodyguards because they know like what they're doing is going to get them into trouble.
Yeah.
And then sorry, one more thing, Brian, before I lose my train of thought. The Twitch streamers that stream IRL, so in real life, I'm like, okay, I could see it. Like if you're walking around in a nice city, like, here's this city, here's this landmark, here's that landmark. Okay, I can get that. The stupid thing though is on Twitch you can have like donations, and it says like for $2 it'll play like a police siren, and for $4 it'll translate text to speech, so you could say some like really vile racist stuff. Or the other thing is like some guys, he's like attending a party at like an art gallery or something, and somebody writes in the chat, is like, I have a bomb. It's going to explode in 5, 4. And then you see just like everyone like running out. Like, how is like those are like terrorist threats. Like, you're getting in serious trouble for that. Like, why would you open yourself up to that?
Well, there's two sides of that, though, right? You got the idiot who's actually doing the IRL, and then you've got the other idiot that's thinking, oh, I'm going to pay $2 to see this happen, right? And at some point in time, you got to be like, hey, listen, you caused massive chaos. It wasn't the IRL. It was actually you who donated the $2 that we have, right, to do that, right? That caused mass
fire
chaos
in a crowded theater. Like, that's not protected speech. That's like, you can go to jail for that.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not laughing because I did it. I'm just thinking of something else that's not inappropriate, or it's very inappropriate. No, I would say on that note, if you are under the age of, I don't know, 65 and you're on FaceTime in public without headphones, you should be publicly executed. I hate that. Grandma, grandpa, they can do it. I get it. You guys are old, but anyone else younger, geez. It drives me nuts. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts when I see my mom do it. Like, what are you doing? She's on the phone at Costco going down the aisle with her. I'm like, what? No, shut the phone off. Put that thing to your ear. I don't understand people walking around with on speakerphone, like going through a store.
Yeah.
Like, why? No one wants to hear that conversation.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, similar to that is the playing loud music through a Bluetooth speaker. Like, everyone else wants to listen to exactly what you listen to. Like, I guess
that's Brian.
Those are more annoying habits, I would say. But
yeah.
For in terms of choices, I think I would say for the dating crowd, staying in a relationship longer than you should. And I see this more because I don't have that many more single friends based on my age. I don't have that many more single friends, but the ones that are, it's like, well, yeah, what are you doing? Like this, everybody can see this is not going to work out. And you aren't compatible, but you still choose to stick with this person, and it's just kind of odd to me that I guess that, at this age that they haven't had enough experience to realize that.
No comment. Here, I have one for you. So, people who willingly eat salad without dressing. I'm like, why are you raw dogging this lettuce like a sociopath?
That's my daughter. She doesn't want the calories from the dressing. So.
Oh my goodness! But can you imagine just sitting there eating kale?
No, low calorie. I'm trying to think like, okay, I was thinking like oil and vinegar.
Vinaigrette, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oil is good calories, so that's good fat. Not all calories are created equal.
Yeah, I was at. I forget what restaurant. It's like looking at like the calories like next to the food. It's like, oh, do you want like a personal pan pizza? It's like 1,700 calories. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be fat. So then I look at the salad and it's just like it's 1,740. Like, what the hell's going on here? The dressing, I'll get you.
That was like
ranch,
McDonald's.
Ranch.
They got criticized for having a salad that had more fat than a cheeseburger or something.
It's ranch dressing with the deep fried piece of chicken on top, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, Glenn, hit the vape again. I mean, right.
Is the other one like Chris wearing a mask when he's the only person in the car driving down the freeway? Oh,
yeah.
But I'll tell you something. So I'll give you this, right? So my mom, diagnosed with cancer. If I come home from a trip, I try to wear a mask in the car, and she wears a mask in the car because I don't want to get her sick for the first couple of days that I'm home. So I that's why I wear a mask in the car, not because I'm crazy. It's because I don't want to get my mom sick. So
you should drive around the Tesla and then use the biohazard mode.
Does that work?
It works.
Do they all have biohazard mode?
I think they do. Yeah, after a certain year, I think post 2020, I think they all started coming standard with it.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and then the last thing I have here, buying the latest and most luxurious goods. And I don't like if you've made it in life and you want to buy a nice handbag or a nice
guy with the Tesla Cybertruck.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like I can get on board
and the wall of shoes.
So you got to hear me on this, but it's the people that don't have the means to, but strive to want it. I would say that's living.
Who are you to judge who doesn't
means.
have the means, though? Who are you to judge?
And I think that's actually a very common misconception that they don't teach people, especially in public schools, is just because you have the money to buy something, it doesn't mean that you can afford that thing. And I think that's a distinction a lot of people miss. Like, oh yeah, I know I have $5,000 in the bank, or I'm getting a $2,000 tax return this year, therefore I'm going to spend that $2,000 on a handbag or something. It's like, no, you should be investing in yourself, save it, rainy day fund. But so that's what I mean by buying the latest and most luxurious goods. If you don't have the means to, or you can't afford it, but you need to flex on Instagram or something, then that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, definitely.
What about people that willingly sign up for HOA meetings? Like, that seems crazy to me.
Or to be the president of the HOA.
I feel it was like oddly specific here. You're talking about.
Did you? Oh wait, did you actually do that, Chris?
I am the president of my HOA board.
My bad.
That's why
I wasn't.
That's why
I was just thinking of
targeted.
stuff I don't like. Oh man. Okay. What about people that don't go to HOA meetings? They're lame. Am I right? Oh man,
it's interesting. I mean, I apply what I learned in the corporate world to the HOA, and vice versa too. Like, so this is my LinkedIn lunatic story, I guess, is how being on an HOA translates into B2B sales. Is a lot of times people just want to be heard. Like, you want to go in and have an angry customer. It's like, if you get confrontational with them, same thing like in an HOA meeting. If they come in with like a noise complaint and you get confrontational with them, it just escalates. And 90% of the time, people just want to be heard. Like, okay, yeah, thanks for telling us, and then you just move on. Like, that's all they need. They just need a release.
I still don't get it.
I don't want to be heard. I want to be understood, Chris. This is our problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes the power. He wants to make HOAs great again. So.
What power? I have no power. I have to.
Denied. Architectural review denied.
You
cannot have a dish on your balcony.
Yeah, actually, that's in the rules. You cannot. Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah. Yep. So there's that, and then there's the architectural applications. There's noise complaints. There's the inevitable. We have to raise the dues every year just because the cost of everything else goes up. Like, our insurance tripled this year. It was outrageous. Here in the insurance.
Let me be clear.
Market in California.
No new taxes.
It's just crazy right now. That's another topic for another day. But it's hard to find help too. Like, every time we have an open seat, like, we have to like actively recruit people. Like, nobody wants to do it. It's like the most thankless job ever.
So it's funny because I was talking to another person last night who is president of the HOA in their neighborhood. And they say they always get somebody coming up there and saying, that, oh, you should, we should do this and we should do that. And he turns it around and goes, great. So it sounds like you're volunteering for that. And that makes it quickly shut up.
Yeah. So we've dealt with that. I live in a community. It has a front door, and then it's condos, and inevitably, we get the porch pirates just like everybody else. Someone will just open the door for a stranger that's come in, swoop all the packages. So for the last 11 years or 14 years, however long I've been living there, they've always said we need to install cameras. I'm like, okay, well, let's put it to a vote of the membership. How much do you want to pay to install and maintain these cameras? And surprisingly, people say little or none. So it's like, all right, well. You want all this stuff, and you want to pay for it, and then same with you. It's like, all right, you want to do this, like you take this and get the bids, get the quotes, and find the companies. Yeah, it's just easy to tell someone else what to do when it's not so easy when it's your responsibility to do it. All right, well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, Brian's up.
See, I feel like we still don't have any good comments about the dad joke of the week. So,
no.
Who actually likes dad
couple.
jokes? Yeah, let's see here.
I
just closed my browser tab that I had open for it.
You get the occasional, 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify, and like love the dad jokes.
He's still reading.
Well, no, I don't know what happened. I closed my tab.
Ransomware. Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Where was it? Okay. Why did Google pay $32 billion for Wiz?
Why is that, Brian?
It's going to be a bet.
Because their incognito mode couldn't hide the fact that they were so desperate for cloud security.
Wow.
Boom roasted.
What is that? That's not, no kid's going to understand that joke.
All right.
But our audience will.
All right.
All right. Good enough.
Our audience is a bunch of kids.
Yes. And specifically for Victor, about my ode to Victor, and I got some feedback of how we made fun of him on how he can't get a mortgage, and we're calling him poor. I'm like, well, we weren't calling him poor, so let me clarify. Victor is not poor, and he doesn't have the means to get a mortgage. The problem is the Canadian housing market. The Canadian housing market is completely screwed up there, and it makes it nearly impossible for people to buy a house. So it's not Victor's fault, it's the system's fault. So let me just make that clear.
Ladies, he is independently wealthy. He's just stingy with his money. Slide into those DMs. Just kidding, Marty.
All right, to wrap things up, Malaysia does the right thing and says no to hackers' demands. Troy Hunt gets phished, and we learned some valuable lessons there. Oracle denies getting hacked, but they were. And don't post your entire life on social media. That's all we have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us all on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify, and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. My co-hosts Brian Deitch and Glenn Medina. I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next weekend. As always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
Seacrest out.
Have a nice day.